5. We go live now. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Conversations by the South Region. And of course, we have an order of appearance, in order of logging in. We have Phil Zadal-Tuaru, all the way from New Zealand. Phil, let's see that beer again. Let me see where it reached.
Heineken Zero. Heineken Zero.
Zero means what? No alcohol?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And we have Franz, all the way from St. Lucia. And of course, we have Stevenson here with us so far, usually. And of course, we have Leon we have 9Y4LY, Leon from Canada. So welcome, guys. What I will do, I will now change my screen. We don't need to see this time and share this time screen. So let me see if I can. Meanwhile, I'll just toss it around. So good evening there. I'll take it in the order of appearance. Good evening there, Phil. And how are things with you this evening? Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Dev. Zadal-Tuaru here, Phil, Hastings, New Zealand. And it is, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. And yeah, it looks to be a nice day out there. So I have to make the most of it. But yeah, thank you very much for letting me come on board, Dev.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Phil. And you know what Phil just said there? It's 1 p.m. on Thursday. We are, of course, 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. So he's a couple hours well ahead of us there. Let me just introduce what Phil did or has done and continues to do, as a matter of fact. He has been very instrumental in getting our DV Caribbean digital voice presence. He has been hosting it for the last 2 years in New Zealand there. And we're very grateful for that, Phil. 2 years or 2 years plus, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so, and he's always willing to assist. You know, it's real ham camaraderie from across the planet. So it's really amazing, Phil, to have you, here with us this evening, all the way from New Zealand. And of course, while the northern hemisphere is approaching winter, he could sip his beers. He's approaching summer. Yes, lucky you. All right.
But you don't get winter over there. Come on.
All right. And Phil has a lot of projects that he will certainly, fill us in on and so on. Franz, so from St. Lucia, is from St. Lucia. So I'll let Franz, the message across to you. You go right ahead.
Yeah, man. Good evening to all. All is well here. Yeah, I didn't know that it was hosted all the way down there, man. So digital voice goes down under and comes back up, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Just proves can be anywhere. Can be anywhere at all. So yeah, that's the beauty of the internet, eh? So good stuff indeed. Well, all is well here. We can't complain, man. No vacation yet, so we still have to go to work.
All right. Thanks very much, Franz. And you guys, let me know on some of the latest projects you all are up to. Leon, glad to have you on board. I see like in Caesar's Palace right now. Good evening, Leon.
I'm in Tampa, Florida, not Canada.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Canada. Okay, yes. I don't know why I said Canada. Yes, I don't know why I said Canada. Go ahead. What mischief you up to in Tampa, Leon?
Oh, okay. Boy, the situation is I'm not as active as you guys. I'm very what do we say? I learn a lot from what I've been seeing and how advanced that amateur radio has gone. Boy, it has leaped so fast that I'm still in the catching up stage, boy. But I'm happy to reunite with you guys, both on a Sunday on the net. You know, other than that, I'm happy to meet all the other guys I have known and seen for a long time. You know, and you seem to be looking younger every time I see you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I shave off somebody's beard.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much there, Leon. And Stevenson. I hope let me catch Stevenson before his party starts. Right ahead, Stevenson.
Yeah, very good night, gentlemen. Stevenson here, 9 Zulu 4 Delta Zulu, in the very cold area of Siparia. We have a little snow today, down on the sun with a temperature about 32 degrees C. So enjoying the nice weather on the sun down here. Yeah, but everything is just okay on the sun, yeah. So we'll be we'll be kind of back and forth in a while because as I told Deb a while ago, one of my nieces having a little Zoom party. And so most of the family will be coming across as far as South Korea to England to the US. Everybody will be on there. So just cannot be away. So I'll be back and forth. So all the best again, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy.
All right, that's Stevenson. Well, as soon as you finish your party, you can certainly come back and join us. Like your party sounded more international like ours than ours. That's great. All right. And we also have Kim. So glad to have you on board here, Kim. The mic is yours. You pick it up there, Kim.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I'm very, very sorry I missed the past few sessions. It's been a little insane, these parts of the woods. But I'm happy to be back, and hopefully I can attend more regularly. Back over.
All right, glad to have you. Always glad to have you here, Kim. Always a pleasure. All right, and we also have Dave, 9Y4 Delta Alpha. Good evening there, Dave, and welcome.
Hello, good evening all. I had a strange thing here. It kept asking me to change name and call sign, but nowhere to do it. I kept clicking on, off, enter everywhere, and nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, it just started to work. So here I am by default. But it took a while to just go forward and backward there. I think this thing doesn't like me. All right, good evening all again, and I'm in.
All right. Glad to have you on board, as usual there, Dave. All right, so looking at the chat.
I tried to add my call sign, but
All you have to do is go to you might see 3 dots above your name, 3 on the top right hand corner, or you can do it in participants. Just go to participants, click on participants, and your name, you could actually where you see your name there, you could, if you click on more, one of them might be to rename. Okay. And welcome there, Basil. Oh, Basil is still connected audio. You got through there, Leon? I mean, I can do it for you now, but I like to let people do things themselves. You're muted.
yeah, I'm about to do it.
All right.
I got
Good.
through.
All right. Nice. Good evening there, Basil, and welcome. Are you in us, Basil? All right. Let's see, he went a little quiet there. All right. So while Basil is sorting, okay, just went off there. Right, Basil, I see you back.
Yeah, good evening. Had a little situation here.
All right. Just remind me of your call sign again there, Basil.
V44 Kilo Bravo Whiskey.
Kilo Bravo Whiskey. All right. Basil. So let's put V44 Kilo Bravo Whiskey. Enter. All right. Okay, so we have Basil in the house as well. All right, excellent. So Basil, let me toss it to you now. How are things in lovely St. Kitts? In St. Kitts or Nevis?
I'm in St. Kitts.
Right.
Kitts. The things are very quiet at this time.
Okay.
I think we're looking to open up any curfew, hopefully sometime this week. So we hope that most people are vaccinated, and so that we can go ahead and about our business. Over.
Yeah. Basil, what's the percentage of vaccination roughly in St. Kitts?
I think we're about 70%, John.
Wow.
And I think we're 60% fully vaccinated. We're about 70% with at least one dose, and about 70. We're about 60% fully vaccinated.
Oh, that's excellent. That's really excellent.
Yeah, we have a very high percentage of vaccinated persons on the island.
I would say you all have, that's only because you all have some very smart people there. I can't say the same for my country. And I make no bones about saying that, because right now, when you listen to the statistics, you know, everybody, I mean, there's only about 3% of the people in ICU are vaccinated. The other 97 or 98% are unvaccinated, and they're occupying valuable medical resources, which is really, really terrible, you know. Phil, do you know what the percentage of your vaccination in New Zealand? Any idea?
Yep. Yeah. We're, excuse me, we are roughly 82% fully vaccinated and 91% first vaccination, and I'm fully vaccinated.
That is excellent. That is excellent. Yeah. But I think, I thought St. Kitts had smart people, but I see New Zealand have smarter people.
Hey, we only got 5 million people. That's all.
What's that thing, Edward?
We've only got 5 million people, so you know it's not that many.
5 million, and to reach 80-something%. That's amazing. That's even more amazing, you know.
Yeah, I'll be getting my booster shot in February next year.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. So let me start with the same order of appearance. So what are some of the projects you're working on there, Phil? Any new projects on the horizon or working on presently?
Well, I've just started playing around with full Linux, as in Pop OS, and just installed M17 shell on Pop OS, and that works really, really well. Raspberry Pi projects, just for fun and just for laughs. I've got 2 Raspberry Pis. One's a Pi 4, one's a Pi 3B, as a cryptocurrency miner. And yeah, that is all just because it's fun, and it was a learning curve on how to install, basically. So yeah, apart from that, I'm just trying to find other digital radio applications for a Linux-based, Ubuntu-based operating system, and install them and see how they work. But the M17 that I've installed on Pop OS works really, really well. And I'm not sure if anyone's played around with Linux much or Pop OS, but Pop OS has a really nice look to it and feel, and quite user-friendly, as well as having the unforgiving terminal mode.
Well, that's great. First time I'm hearing about the Pop OS. So are you running it on one of your other machines, or is it running a Raspberry Pi, Phil?
It's running on a separate little Elite desk computer with a just a monitor, keyboard and mouse. It's completely separate. Yeah, so I can't really share it.
Right. Okay, no problem. Sounds interesting. I'll do some reading up on it, and I know if I have difficulty where I could point my antennas. That's great. And another thing that you said was very interesting. I want to learn about this cryptocurrency thing. I don't know if I should I'm not saying I want to learn about it before I even think about starting to invest in it, because I don't have any money to invest even in my regular bank account from a cryptocurrency, you know. But that's interesting. And so you're doing some mining with your Raspberry Pis, you said?
Yeah, that's correct. So it's I'm not mining a like Bitcoin because a Pi could not do it. I'm mining a currency which it's probably easier to show you. If I can put that in here, and that should be that's shared to everybody right now. And yeah, the Pi's in mining, you've got what's called a hash rate, and that's basically, from what I understand, the higher your hash rate, the more profitable it will be to solve a problem and add to what's called a blockchain. And the blockchain is where I guess you make some sort of money from it, so to speak. And yeah, a Raspberry Pi hash rate is very, very low. I'm probably spending more in electricity than what I'm making.
You might be interested in a project that Franz is doing right now, especially if you're looking for things for your Raspberry Pi. He gets some amazing weather images from some of the polar orbiting satellites. So I'll swing it across to Franz to tell us about some of his projects. And I'm sure he will spur you on with, because Franz, I am supposed to, wait a minute, maybe that's what in that little bag. I'm supposed to be getting those same two devices shortly. Oh, okay, right. So I see you sharing your screen now.
Yeah, so that's the miner there. So when I talk about hash rate, sorry to interrupt, that's my hash rate. It's quite low. That's how many jobs is accepted, 314. So that's what's going on, but it's not making anything. I haven't made a single portion of a coin.
Okay, so which coin is this that you looking at there, Phil?
It's a Mariner Ocean coin. It's a very unrecognized coin, hence you can mine it with a Raspberry Pi.
Right.
Yeah, it's not Bitcoin. A Raspberry Pi could never mine Bitcoin. It just wouldn't have enough processing power. And that other thing you can see here, Dev, and that's the back end of XLX 299. That's the back end stuff. So here's all the transcoders operational. That's a running log. So when you key up, if you were to key up on your module G, it would come up on here, Dev, the back end stuff, and sort of log everything. Tells me who's connected and when they connect and stuff like that. That's just a little side thing, I guess.
Right. And so this is a Raspberry Pi that you're looking at here, right? Which is the Pi?
This is a Raspberry Pi.
Pi 4, Pi 3?
This is a Pi 3.
Right.
And this over here is obviously XLX. So this is the back end of the server that's actually in Auckland in a data center. So, well, not a data center, a secure data facility, I should say.
Okay. Excellent.
I'll stop sharing that.
All right. Let me just get, how do I get back? This screen, right? I want to put it across here. Everybody can see viewers, right? So also we have Franz, who will probably whet the appetite with one of his projects. So Franz, over to you.
I like that. Yeah, if you want to, I just brought back up the screen for the sat images. I haven't looked at it for a few days actually. Well, kind of glance at it because it goes to a Discord server where you can see the images. I think last time I had shared that link. Where are we? Yeah, it's that one. All right, so that's the interface really. These are the passes that it gets. That one is a nice one right there. All right, there you go.
Oh, wow.
I have it when it's initially set up, it crops the bottom end and the top end. I took that away and let it capture from the time it starts hearing the sats to when it loses it. So it gets maximum coverage that way. So that works pretty well, and that is really and truly just a Raspberry Pi 3, RTL SDR, and it has an LNA and a bandpass filter on it. Even without the bandpass filter, it was fine. Just that when I'm on HF, it would get interference, which right now it does not anymore. And the antenna is just a horizontal V dipole, so nothing much. And it seems to really like my home, so it works very well. And these are the passes. I see I have one at 2158 here. The next one, NOAA 18. And it does 15, 18, and 19 from NOAA and Meteor M2. And that's a fairly simple project because there's an image that is done by VE3 ELB. And he tweaked one from some other guys that basically put it together. They worked all together, but he made an image that you can just stick on the SD card and with minimal configuration, have it up and running and working. Well, I don't have Discord on this machine, but on this on Discord, I have it also uploading every image that it receives. So that is insofar as satellite go. I want to go and do GOES though. GOES is another story. Yeah, that is my. I think I have my password set there. I think so. There you go. That's the All-Star node here. And by the way, I really need to tackle that thing, and I started halfway. The
DV switch.
Right, the DV switch, the link into from DMR. It's halfway there, you know. I just need to complete it. I got sidetracked in work this week like crazy. So over the weekend, I should have a bit of time to continue with that again, get it sorted out. But this works well. I mean, as you can see, I have one on 6 meters, one on VHF, and one in the cloud. And TTARS is our hub in the Caribbean right now. That works like a charm. Let me tell you, All-Star. I love it. It's solid. It's there for everything. It's.
Oh, I need to connect my node up to yours, I think.
You could, you know, you can connect to TTARS. TTARS is the hub.
Okay, so where's that?
Yeah. That's
what number?
Trying to remember what it is. I should have it in my favorites as an All-Star. If you use All-Star, I can connect to the All-Star side of it. Right, it's 431420, isn't it? Yeah, 431420. That's TTARS All-Star hub.
Stand by.
And
Connect.
And that works real well. Every morning, 6:30 to 7:30, at least there's nets. Hopefully we'll get Dominica back on, and it will be till 8. So there's always nets every day of the week in the morning. Sunday we join the 9Y net, so that's always very interesting. So yeah, that's another one we have running. What else we have running on? I ain't even sure. Well,
so, sorry to interrupt. What was the number to connect to?
What was the number? 431420. 431 420.
Yep, I've connected.
Sure, and you can remain connected to that all the time. That's TTARS is actually another hub that runs in the cloud, is what it is. Just like the one I have in the cloud. So there's 2 of them in the cloud, really. TTARS is run by Kilo 9 PSL. He maintains that one. And all the repeaters basically connect, and the Caribbean connect to it for the nets. So that's what that is about. So yeah, other than that, what's more exciting really and truly? I'm not too sure. I tried a new OS. You know, there's a new OS for Raspberry Pi. I'm trying to remember what name they gave it. Some foolish name as usual, but it's a bit
Something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, but it's a bit finicky. I had it. Yeah, it has a few bugs in it that they'll iron it out, I'm sure. But I messed it up in the sense that I was VNCing into it and I made some changes and well, locked myself out nicely. So, but then that's the beauty of an SD card, right? Stick it in the reader and redo it.
Start again. I've
Yeah,
just connected to your node. If you
Okay.
can see ZL2
right. Yeah, there you
RL1.
are. Yeah, there you are. There you are. Yeah, nice, nice.
And it's quite neat. It's neat. I like it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like the dashboard for these things here. They really show up nicely and give you good control basically, and can really manage it well without having to go into the back end. So yeah. So yeah, so that's the excitement with the new OS. So I'll redo that one and start all over. I was starting to build a Raspberry Pi to go portable, really. You know, use it, connect to the radio, and then use a tablet to VNC back into it. But I'll have to start from scratch because obviously I broke it. So yeah, that's the fun part of a new OS, right?
Yep.
So which
So
cloud do
that's
you
it
use?
pretty much.
Which cloud do you use,
And,
Franz?
you know, Digital Ocean. Digital Ocean.
Oh, DigitalOcean. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. See, Darren was on, what's the other one? There's another one that is really popular and fairly cheap.
AWS?
No, not AWS. One the other one. I can't remember the name offhand, but it was there and it was given a lot of issues. DigitalOcean, I must say, with All-Star, I have not had any hiccups. The only hiccups that happen is when I go and interfere with the damn thing, right, and break something. But once you have it set, it runs forever. Just pay my $5 a month and it just keeps on running. Never have a problem.
Mhm.
So I can recommend DigitalOcean for that for sure. They're real nice. And at $5 a month, I mean, that's very reasonable.
Now, have you compared, right, instead of paying $5 a month, running it on a Raspberry Pi, without, you can't get the 3, so maybe a Pi 4. If you look at our cost benefit analysis, what would you say would be the plus of going with a cloud server as opposed to your managed server being a Pi 4?
It will run both ways. I mean, people connect to my node like ZL did, right? So it's no problem to run it that way, as long as you have, I mean, halfway decent bandwidth. It don't take that much bandwidth anyway, but you know, it runs fine. The advantage of having it in the cloud is that the hub is always there. So if something were to happen on my end, the hub is still there. So if you had 10 repeaters join into a net and mine fails here at home, it's not a problem because the net will go on as if nothing else happened. Whereas if it runs here, then obviously I'm going to break that net, right? If it's in that manner. So that is the advantage of having a hub in the cloud. And the way it happened that we have Sidarin in the cloud and I have one in the cloud is that Paul built Sidarin pretty much at the same time I was doing mine, and with the same kind of intent. But he went way beyond what I did. I was just playing around, but he was very serious about it. Really built this thing up very nicely because Sidarin has Hamshack hotline connected into it. DMR 969, I believe, is most. I'm not sure if it's connected all the time or if it's for the nets. So he has done a lot of work with it in that sense. So that is the advantage of having it in the cloud, is that you can do all these things and not fail. If your node at home fails, you've not killed the whole network, you know. So that's the basic advantage of it. I just kept maintaining the one in the cloud just because, well, it was there. So I left it alone and it keeps running. So that is fine, you know. But you could run it from your home on a Raspberry Pi 3 or 4 easily. All-Star will run on Raspberry Pi 2.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. 3 or 4 will run fine.
Okay. All right. So moving on. in terms of, chiming in with some of the stuff. Let me see if Stevenson is back here with us. Stevenson, you're there with us still? All right, so before we actually take some of the projects and whatnot, we had some new entries. We heard from Kim. I tried to do it in the order in which they appeared. Oh, right. Basil, I think we heard from you. But no, I think we just toss it to you. So let's hear from you, Basil, and then we move across to Steve.
You heard from me before.
Right.
I was really enjoying the input from on this Tidarian stuff. So I just listening.
Nice. All right, Steve. My first SH. Good evening.
Yeah, good night, everyone on frequency. I got in a bit late, so still trying to catch up there. And nothing, I have no projects running at the moment. My only project, it seems, is to be following this COVID, these cases, because today was 7/18. So I'm a little concerned.
Whoa, that is a lot. 7/18,
Yeah.
I was busy with classes and whatnot, so I had no idea. It was 4/19 yesterday. Okay.
So
All right.
we seem to be in another spike, and when they remove the SOE tonight at midnight, I expect that madness will take place for the next week or so until people settle down. So, but that is what life is all about. You had to roll with the punches. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and I'll move on to, we have family of Kim. Good evening, Hugh, and welcome. B44 Kilo Mike.
Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone on frequency. Well, frequency on this call. Nice. I was having a bit of problem with the video, so as soon as I get it sorted out, I'll certainly join with video. And just saying hi to my dearest family there, Kim. Good night down there.
This is you?
Yeah, of course.
You're kidding.
I mean, I had to tell you that, Kim.
Sweet man. Hey,
Yeah,
Hugh.
so as soon as I get my video sorted out, I'll plug it in there. So it should be in the next couple minutes.
Cool.
Not a problem at all. You see, we also have a family reunion on the conversations. Excellent.
Very nice. Sweet. The Malus are a long and deep Ham family, you know. I'm the last to join the Mohicans.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you and I have been chatting on the Digital Voice Caribbean with the program, the link we used to have on a Monday night, but I got a little tied up now. So this once a month thing might be the best thing for me because of how it is going on right now. But glad to have you on board, Hugh. So I'm going to switch across now to the Kalu. 8P6 Romeo Yankee. Good evening, buddy. And welcome.
Hey, good evening, excuse me. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, Dev. Haven't laid eyes on you for a long time, but
this is 2017. no, 2019. Sorry, 2019.
Yeah, something like that. But at least I see you from time to time on FT8. I think I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the last contact we made on FT8. I think I saw you on 6 meters a few weeks back. Otherwise than that, nothing happening here. Particularly, I glanced at the phone and realized that you guys were on, and I had just finished. I just finished teaching an online class, and just thought that okay, since I'm here with the computer, let me just jump in here and say hello to you guys and extend the greetings across the mothers there.
That's really great, the Carlo. What online class you had this evening?
Well, I had this evening introduction to information technology. Mostly mature students.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I actually had an online class. I have classes every evening. I teach physics.
Okay.
So this evening was actually a Form 5 physics class I had from 6 until 8. But I had to finish them off a little bit earlier so that I could have this live stream running and this conversations. So I also have them tomorrow. So I tell them tomorrow you make up for all the lost time.
Great. Cool. Yep.
Nice.
So I'll just say good evening to everybody, and I'll be listening on the side. I was there enjoying listening to France, and boy, I really got to find some time to to get like France there. Really got to find some time. I work from home, so I'm here. I am at this desk. I just swap out computers. I moved from the office laptop to my personal laptop, and the radio is here, usually hooked up to one of these two laptops, and so I'm on air doing FT8 and we're doing the people's work all at the same time. Huh?
Nice, excellent.
I got that one from you. I learned that one from you way back when.
What word is that?
I recall you being at work and operating the radio at the same time.
Yeah. That's right. Make sure the shack could be portable. You can have it on your phone or wherever it is, and operate the suit.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving across to V44 Romeo London. Good evening there, Selwyn, and welcome. Unmute.
Yes, yeah. Good evening, all. Good evening, all. I just got onto the conversation from Killer Mike and Basil, KBW. They just told me about it, so I'm just joining. I'm actually in Taiwan. It's morning here for me in Taiwan. I'm here doing some studies, actually doing my PhD in broadcasting. And so I thought I would just join the conversation. I just joined, so I really didn't get much of the context of what you guys were speaking about, but I'll try and stay on and see how much more I can learn at this point in time. Over.
That's excellent, Selwyn. Well, actually, it's Hams. The name of the game is conversation. So we doing what we do best. Talk about radio, talk about technology, and that's interesting. A PhD in broadcasting. So how long is that program?
It's 5 years. I have 5 years here in Taiwan. I've already completed one, so I have 4 more years to go, and I'll try to deal with that. Just for your information, really, it might help me because I'm trying to get my ham license here in Taiwan, but it's completely different from anywhere else in the world. I can tell you that, and I think what I'd have to do is to go and take the test here in Mandarin to complete the procedure, because they're trying to get my license from back home in St. Kitts, but I'm not getting my CAD ID to present it to the Taiwanese people here. So, because I have all my radios and stuff here, but I can't use them unless I'm qualified. I have to get permission from the association here to use my radio. So, but in the meantime, I'm on Ham Shack. I don't know if you guys know much about Ham Shack radio. Not radio, telephone. So we speak, myself, Basil, and Killer Mike, we speak on Ham Shack, the Ham Shack phone most of the times. So I'm always in connection with home through the Ham Shack phone.
All right, great. Well, I mean, okay, there are several options I could give you, Selwyn. One is that there are, I mean, instead of the Ham Shack hotline, I mean, you could use that in addition to, not instead of, I should say. You could download an app called Droid Star, DROID, Delta Romeo Oscar India Delta, Sierra Tango Alpha Romeo. One word, Droid Star. That app allows you all the digital voice modes that are available, like D Star, C4 FM, M17, and whatnot. So, I think Hugh, you may have to see that you guys are in contact with him. get him to get his DMR ID and so on. Okay. Now that is one way of going about it, Selvin. Another method is this. If you look at my screen, maybe what I'll do, I'll share my screen with the group. Let me just share my screen. The point I want to make is that you could actually have your shack in let me just get this in St. Lucia, sorry, St. Kitts. And by having your shack there in St. Kitts, you could actually operate remotely. In fact, right now, that's what I am doing. Where is, oh, here it is. Let me just share my screen. Share this screen here. Share. Okay. Right. So right now, this is, I'm here talking to you. My radio is in the next room. And I could be anywhere. As a matter of fact, I could be anywhere. This is the phone device. I could be in Taiwan for that matter, accessing my shack. Okay. Right now I'm working, I just worked Austria, United States, Jordan, while the meeting was going on. At 00, I worked Jordan at 0032. That's about 9 minutes ago. Right now it is called NCQ. We just made contact with Austria. So you actually don't have to have your shack with you.
Gotcha.
Give your license requirements. And this is what I do when I travel. Rather than looking for reciprocal, rather than walking with equipment through airports and going through all the hassle, it's a lot easier. Of course, it's nice to have a call sign, okay? But then again, when you have an exotic call like V44 Romeo London, I mean, that will attract more DX than some of the other call signs, you know. So, you know, like Ira, I mean, he creates a storm when he's on the net, sorry, when he's on FT and so on, Echo in the hotel. So there are some advantages. There are things that you could do while you're still there. Maybe, you know, and it's very easy to set up some of these remote stations. I have a video out on the YouTube. Just search for 9Y4DG remote. And it's a 10-minute video that actually shows you all the setup that is required. And it demos all the modes, including using my remote station to work satellites and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
You know?
We'll look into it.
Yeah, yeah. So there are many options. If the Taiwanese government giving you some hassle, start with Joint Star is a quick win, and then we could always migrate towards the HF. Now that the HF bands are opening up a bit because of the solar activity, you know. So glad that we like to have you to hear you on, man. And we normally do these conversations once a month, and we advertise it, and you know, quite a lot across the various media. So you more than be aware of what is happening. You know.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're most welcome. How do we stop this? All right, stop the share. All right. So let's see now. Anybody want to talk about any more of their projects that they're working on? Or anything at all?
Well, I want to ask a question.
Yes, Dave, go right ahead.
Okay, I see you operating remote and the FT8. Now, when you make a contact, my little FT8 monitor comes up and I have to click log, and then it continues in whatever little pile there is there. But is there a way to set it up where I don't have to be physically in front of the computer? Because I do a lot of little things around the house, and sometimes, I get called away here, called away there. And I got the impression that unless you click yes to log, it won't move on to the next station. Or am I overreading?
Right. First, let's start with, right? Okay, in FT8, if you go to File, Settings, okay, and Reporting, there's a checkbox here that says log automatically. All they say contested only. I do whatever that, log automatically. So it logs it automatically for you.
Okay, okay. I remember that page, yes.
Right. The other thing is that the software that I'm using is WSGT-Z. Okay. -Z is important because if I check this mark, you see auto CQ, it says a little box comes up. I don't know if you can read it. It says, when this is ticked, all hell breaks loose. The Antichrist takes over. Let's get it again. Earth implodes and all humanity ceases to exist. Warning, it's tested on animals, non-vegan, including gluten and traces of nuts. But that's just something to tell you that this auto CQ will now also auto CQ for me as well. So I do have to click auto, I do have to click CQ. But that is the WSGT-Z. Normally, the one that they use is WSGT-X. Okay.
Yeah, I think I have that on. There's a cracked version of that crack.
Right. This is the cracked version. -Z does the fully unattended operation, which does the auto CQ thing. And of course, all of them will do auto login. It's just the auto CQ. So while I'm here right now, I'm talking to you all, you see it's called in CQ. And we are on 30 meters, call in CQ right now.
Okay, I see that.
Right. So what you have to look for is the -Z version. And it works like a charm.
Okay, so yeah, well, like as I say, sometimes like now, if I'm not too sleepy, I might go on or late after 5 or so. But there's always, as I say, something. Or if there's activity at 12 o'clock, usually I'm in the galley there doing something, you know. So while I might be able to stay in front. So I'm not going to leave it on whole day, but you know, like if there's something to be done. Yeah, I just wanted to know if that feature was there. And to our friend there in Taiwan, ni hao.
Yeah, I think Selwyn.
That's all the chat Mandarin I know.
So Selwyn, is your is there issue with the language here, or you're catching up with the language quite?
I'm just learning it. Really, it's very difficult for me. Very, very difficult because there are about 10 words meaning the same thing.
Yes, it is difficult.
Depending on the tones or the accents, as I call them. So it's a little difficult, but I'll get there. I promise you I'll be able to speak Mandarin like I speak my own language.
Let me tell you what the most important thing in it is, and my pronunciation isn't good, but this is the most important thing. Mai tanung koi. And as I understand it, that means bring the bill, please. So
as a matter of fact, we have finals in a restaurant. We're going to a restaurant to order stuff, and that will be our finals. It's kind of weird, but that will be our finals in school.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, very. All right. So let me see. Let me go back to Phil. Any other things that, oh, by the way, with respect to what do you think about Franz and his weather satellite thing? You think you could find another Raspberry Pi to give it some work?
That looks pretty cool. I noticed he was looking at Kiwi SDR as well. I saw a tab on his screen. KiwiSat, KiwiScan, I think it was. You want to get the satellite image of New Zealand sometime, see if you can pick up any of this place. It'd be quite interesting. But I mean, I'd be keen to try and have a play around with it. Yeah, definitely. Looks like a little bit of fun. Looks like a bit of fun. There's lots of projects with Raspberry Pis, even if they're not amateur related. There's so many cool things out there. I mean, I've played around with, you know, Pi VPNs. What I want to do is Pi Hole. I don't know if you heard of Pi Hole. That takes away all the ads from YouTube. It blocks all those things. I haven't really. I mean, I've downloaded the OS, but I haven't installed it yet. So, because I don't have a redundant Pi. That's a problem. First world problems. I don't know. I mean, I could buy one from a shop here in New Zealand, but pay well over $100. It's ludicrous. I won't do that unless I desperately need one.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And just one question. I know you're running your All-Star node, but are you running it with the DV switch?
I can access it via the DV switch. It's actually linked to a DMR talk group, which is linked to module K on 299. So that All-Star node will come out on module K. So if you link into that, you come out on there. If you come in via the DMR talk group, I'm trying to think of the talk group number, 53029, I believe it is. That'll come out on the All-Star node as well.
No, but no. What I was asking is that I know DV switch has the All-Star node enabled as part of the software.
Correct.
Do you have your All-Star node set up with your DV switch software, or is it something separate?
Yes. No, I do. Yes, I do have it set up.
Oh, so you have enabled the All-Star part of the DV switch.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Definitely.
All right, and we have Dundee, who is now still connecting audio. So as soon as he's connected, we will bring him into the conversation. All right. Okay, good evening there, Don. Welcome to the conversation. Are you hearing us, Don? Don, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Good night, gentlemen. And
right.
I see a lady too, so good night, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, there's something like JD at Charlie Delta.
Correct.
All right, just wanted to make sure. Glad to have you in here. What we just discussing some of the various projects and activities that have the guys and gals busy. Yeah. So what are you up to there, Don? By the way, that remote station, have you gotten it going yet?
No, unfortunately not. Still looking for one or two pieces of hardware to put it together. But I'll tell you what, since this is my first time joining this conversation here, I'll probably just listen for a bit and then make a contribution a little later.
Yeah, sure, no problem at all. But we're always glad to have you. We have, well, of course, you can see from the call signs. Phil is actually, I know you were regular on the Digital Voice Caribbean. That whole network has been hosted by Phil Zanaltuaro. And of course, you know, fans, and we have Leon, who used to be there, Dave, DeCarlo, who I always meet up in Barbados when I visit, and Selwyn. Selwyn is actually in Taiwan right now, just to give you a little heads up of who is where. Steve is here in Trinidad, Basil, and of course, Hugh in St. Kitts. Stevenson might be on another call, so he might be in and out this particular conversation. So before I have to go quiet and us done, what activity have you been involved in recently?
I've been helping out the scouts with Jamboree on the air, so that's our latest project. That went pretty good. And we also conducting a class leading up to a technician license with the same scouts. So hopefully before Christmas, we should have some new hams in SVG.
That's lovely. That's lovely there. All right. All right. So we just passed on everybody, telling us about some of the things that they're doing and whatnot. I see we have. All right. We have, let me just recognize Adesh Manhar Ramkisoon. He messaged us on the chat. So good evening there, Adesh. Let me just respond on the chat here. I don't have Irvin can't make it. Irvin, that's 9 Zulu 4 United Bravo. He has exams coming up, so he's preparing for that. So let me just. Yeah, go ahead, Franz.
Yeah, let me share some. I found this very interesting. I came across, well, didn't come across, the guys came across it and shared this in one of Theo's videos. Auto FT8. It is still a work in progress. I mean, it can run on Windows from what I gather, but I mean, it's written in Python, so why not? But they did it on a Raspberry Pi. And why this is interesting is if you were to do an FT8 contest, the purpose of Auto FT8 is obviously kind of like what Z does, but it is calculating which signal or which station you have the best likelihood of making a QSO with. So it's not going to just pick the top of the list, it's going to pick the best of the list. That is basically the idea behind Auto FT8. So very interesting. I think I have his video up here, so I'll share that in the chat. Yeah, that's I don't know if you're aware of that one. Actually, that's a weekly thing. FT8 off, which is a short 1 hour sprint on Thursdays. I think it's Thursdays. Yeah, I miss it every so often, but once in a while I do participate. It's just who can make the most FT8 contacts in 1 hour stretch, whilst these guys are just having some very interesting conversations. And last week it was about Auto FT8. So that might be something to keep your eye on, to have some fun when it comes to FT8 dev.
Yeah, that certainly looks good because right now I have a computer there that and it's a tower with about 30 something gigs of RAM, and that I would like to repurpose. So maybe if I could use the Raspberry Pi instead, basically using FT8,
right?
Making contacts and whatnot. So Raspberry Pi will do just as good.
Correct.
And do what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I think the Auto FT8 is going to be interesting, once it gets on point.
Mm-hmm.
It is a work in progress, so it's a little bit fiddly to get it all going because it's not, it's not a finished product. But it's very interesting, and it does work, and it really does pick the best possible contact to have the QSO with. So technically, if you have, a contest going on and you systematically pick the best possible contact for a QSO, you're going to have more QSOs than the next man, right? So
right.
It's just very interesting to see how that will develop, It's just it's all good fun.
If I may interject.
Sure.
There is also an FT8 piece of software called MSHV that does something quite similar. A number of the guys use it for contesting, from what I recognize. As Franz pointed out, once you have that capacity, that capability to pick the signal that you're best, or most likely, or the best signal to make contact with, then that works very well for contesting. And that MSHV also has the ability, I think, to work a number of stations simultaneously in a contest as well. And it uses also it puts the stations into a queue as well.
It's called Fox and Hound. Yeah, it does Fox and Hound.
Yeah. But
Yeah. My experience
unfortunately,
with that is not as great as it sounds. I found over
yeah,
time.
it's missing the auto. That's what it's missing.
Well, maybe so, but I have found that when you do your transmission going out is fine. You can do, I mean, you can do the full 3K wide calling CQ, endless signals. That is fine. But on decoding and dealing with multi-stations to answer to, I have found that I do better with just with a Z, for example. So I'm doing a single signal at a time. I will process more signals than trying to do the Fox and Hound story, because you get a lot of repeats because you divide in your processing time and listening time across X amount of signals.
Yes,
that's just what I found. I mean, mileage might vary, right?
Yeah, it is processor hungry, resource hungry. Yes, it is.
Definitely.
But
But
very much.
MSHV works very well,
Yeah.
It works very well. It is more sensitive in certain cases.
Yeah.
And then again, it's always perception, right? Because to really have an honest comparison between, let's say, XZ, MSHV, what else does it? There's others, I think. There's something else that does.
GTDX.
Pardon?
GTDX.
Yes, GTDX, right. For you to really do a comparison, you would have to have a single radio and divide the audio across to same type computers, and have each one do one version of the software and compare that. But comparing it on the same computer is not a true comparison, because, who grabs the cycle first is going to get the best results,
Yeah, because one of the guys here, I'm trying to remember who it was there. He actually ran, he was able to run the Z version alongside the JTDX on the same computer, the same time, receiving the same signals. Right. And he found that the JTDX came on top in that comparison. Once again, it required quite a bit of processing power to be able to do that at the same time.
But technically, you could run the same, whether it be X, Z, DX. You could run these multiple times,
Yeah.
All you have to do is create multiple installs, really, multiple directories where it runs from. And this is actually where it's interesting with FT8, is that it's a timed mode. So, for example, you could run 9 radios, 9 instances of the FT8, and as long as they all are on the same sequence, either first or second, you don't need no filtering, because when they listen, they all listen. When you transmit, all transmit.
They all transmit. Correct.
So you can never desense a radio because they're all exactly at the same time. So that is one of the fun things about FT8.
Yep.
Yeah, so getting back to the MSHV comparison, 2 things that I noticed with it, and I agree with your friends. I have found that when I do 1 by 1, the rate over, let's say, a 30-minute period is higher than with single contacts rather than MSHV. And secondly, maybe it's one of my settings, but it does multi-log of a station, whereas the other ones would not log a station second time. MSHV was guilty of that. Maybe, and I tested that maybe about 2, maybe 3 years ago. Who knows? There might be a new version out that fixes some of those issues. But for my own take on MSHV, I prefer the Z.
I do the same, yeah. And I don't like the layout of MSHV, but that's just personal opinion. I mean, that don't mean anything really. But what I found in the newer versions of, well, it's obviously WST, JTX really. I mean, the Z is just an addition to it. I mean, it's open source. Is that if you work a station and it logs, right? And that station calls you again within a period of time rather quickly, it will show on screen that the DX field is empty. It's not logging that call because you just worked them. So you get less dupes in your log, you know, fellas that you work like 4 times in a row within 2 minutes, you know, that kind of thing.
All right,
You know?
that's correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that feature because it takes away from having a log, you know, with guys 4 times in, I don't know, 10 minutes, you know, it gets rid of that, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
found the duplication taking place in the MSHV as well. And
Yeah.
I'm running the latest version of it.
Okay,
So it's still there.
right, it's still there, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, you get fellas that, you know, I was laughing at, you know, you call they call you, you answer them, they start answering you, you give them 7-3, either RR 7-3 or just flat out 7-3, whichever, right? And they don't reply, and you reply 4 times, and then you move on, and then like a whole 2 minutes later, all of a sudden, there's that 73 that they're you know, it's like, what happened? Where did you go? You know, it's just propagation. They've probably been transmitting that 7-3 ever since, but you're just not seeing it, you know. So I try to pick up on those and just let them enter.
Okay.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. I have to leave now. It's morning for me. I have to get ready to go and work. So I have to leave the house shortly. So I'm going to get ready and leave. But I'm hoping I'll be back some other time to be a part of these conversations.
Well, it's really a pleasure having you, Selwyn. I'm really glad that you could have made it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll keep you in the loop. I know you and they will send you the links once we.
Correct.
We'll do one in December again. It's once a month.
Oh, it's once a month. Okay.
Yeah, it's once a month. So you have enough time to plan for the next one.
Great. Thanks a lot.
We have a coordinator. Once you organize the dates, we'll send it out, you know, keep the date and that sort of stuff. So
Great.
Thanks
My
so much.
my email is v44 Romeo Lima at AOL.com. Very simple. At AOL.com. My call sign at AOL.com.
And what you could probably do, we have a Facebook page, Digital DV Caribbean, Digital Voice Caribbean. Join that page and all the links are usually there.
Great.
Right, DV Caribbean. So you can check it out.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
It's a
Should put a
pleasure
link in
having you here, Selwyn.
should put a link in the comments, Dev, for the Facebook page. A link in the comments or something that might work.
I'll have to.
Yeah,
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Selwyn. Yeah, Phil, what was that?
I was just saying you should put a link in the comments for the Caribbean Facebook page. It'd be easier for Selwyn to click on.
It's usually there. It's because Irvin normally minds that part of it. He normally sees about it. But because of his exams, he told me that he would not be around today and he didn't probably post anything there on the Facebook page. So
okay.
Yeah. So but he normally posts it there as well.
Oh, okay. I understand. Hey, I'm gonna have to go too. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, and if I don't have certain things done by the time my wife gets home, I will be in the dog box.
Not only that, Phil, you have to go drink another beer and go in the pool.
Well,
we got the message loud and clear. See what I mean?
Yeah, I do have to do that, and I've got a little bit of yard work to do, a little bit of stuff around the house. I've already, as I said, I cut the grass, but I've got to do a few other things and stuff like that. And but it's really fun to actually join this properly instead of being at work. It's really cool to meet all you guys.
A pleasure.
Yeah, Dev's right. Dev and myself have collaborated for quite a few years now. So yeah. I consider you my best Caribbean friend, my only one I know of personally.
Thanks very much, Phil. You have been outstanding in supporting us here in the Caribbean. So Phil is my brother from down under.
That's the one. Yep.
Phil is my brother from down under.
come and join the Digital Voice New Zealand Facebook page as well, guys. Yeah. It'll certainly make a good presence from that side of the world. Best 7-3s, everybody. Stay safe and let's beat this virus. Take care, guys.
As a matter of fact, I tried to encourage. Well, Phil normally says buddy, and I don't normally call him mate. So take care, mate.
Yeah, mate. No worries, buddy. Not
Bye,
a
Phil.
problem.
Right.
See you later.
Okay.
God bless
Bye, Phil.
everybody.
Bye, Phil. 7-3.
All
All right,
right.
guys. I am
7-3.
also going to be taking my leave at this time. So, wishing you guys a good evening. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me. And I'll hear you guys again. Be back on, you say, in another month or so?
Yeah, within the next month.
Okay, will do. All right, I'll look up for the link and I'll join you back then.
Take care, Carlo. It's
Okay.
a great pleasure having you
Adios.
here, as
Bye-bye.
usual.
All right. Thank you. Have a great evening, guys.
All right.
And lady. Sorry.
All right. All
Okay.
right.
I might have to run to Dev. Yeah. As soon as I mix a glass of water, I think I'm ready for bed.
Okay. All right. Dave,
All right.
Kim, you want to say something?
Yes.
No, I was just saying bye-bye, in response to the lady.
Oh, all right. Okay. Excellent. All right. Let me take any last calls for any topics, comments, anything you want to find out about before we. I mean, these are early wrap up. Normally, we normally go until
All I
about
want to
2
say,
hours.
Dev, is that I'll be down there next week.
Second, you'll be?
I'll be in TT next week.
Oh, lovely.
But based on what I see is going on, I just going to deal with certain business aspects and so on, get certain things done, and be back here the following week.
Oh, within a week?
Yeah, just 1 week, because I try to make it short because of what's happening down there.
Right. So you have your return flight booked already?
Yeah, everything done.
So when you plan to be here?
I'll be coming on Monday.
On Monday. Okay. All right.
I'll get a shout.
Yeah,
when I
certainly.
get down.
Nice.
But it's really scary because it's already 700, as the guy said tonight, because I checked the news there every day.
Mhm.
What's happening? Yeah.
All right. Any other comments, questions from anyone before we wrap things up?
I did put the Facebook link for you all in the chat though. Well, in this chat, the chat that belongs to this session.
Oh, right.
I did put it there. Yeah, we miss our back-end operator.
Yeah. Phil is really a cool guy, really very helpful and whatever else.
I realized that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, seeing that we are out of conversations, I mean, we will formulate something. We have to have a Christmas get together, at least just chairs. So let me thank everyone for taking the time out and being with us here this evening. It's always a pleasure sharing among the ham community. We had a pretty good representation from across the globe. So thank everyone. Let me thank everybody for being part of tonight's conversation. I'd like to thank our YouTube listeners and participants. We had a guy, Arish, he was there on the chat on YouTube. So thanks very much for being part of the group. And looking forward to having all of you all in our next session in December. Not too sure the date for that, but I'll let the coordinator share. He does all the scheduling and stuff. I just help with the hosting of it and so on. Okay. So, any last minute comments? Anybody wants to say their own goodbyes? Mic is yours.
Thanks as always, Deb. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the effort and the time. That's it for me then. Over.
All right, Kim. Always a pleasure having you here. I know you always. I know what your schedule is like, especially now that campus has reopened and whatnot. So
it's
fully
totally
aware.
insane. Yeah,
I could just imagine.
it's just insane.
Right. Okay, guys and gal, take care. 7-3 and goodbye. Goodbye.
7-3.
All the best.
7-3.
Yes, yeah, 7-3 to everyone.
7-3. Thanks for hosting.
So I'll end the stream now. Good night, all.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. And a productive week, what's left of it.
Yes, Don. Good night. 7-3.